Hello, welcome back to another vlog. Thank you for joining me today. I am really trying the style of my friend Justina, which if you don't follow her channel, go follow her. She is a health and fitness coach and she's amazing. And she also has a lot of sass and I just love her videos. But she always does these videos that are like vlog style where she is talking to you and bringing you along throughout, whether it's a day or week or whatever it is. But the video also has a purpose and like a very specific purpose. So that's what we're kicking off today. Today is Thursday, September 15th, and I'm getting ready for the day, but I'm also at the same time packing to go away this weekend. So one of the things I always do is while I'm putting on my makeup or like getting ready for the day, I will pack the items as I use them. Helps me make sure I don't forget anything. So the purpose of this video is I'm gonna bring you along for the next probably 10 to 14 days, kind of depending on how things go, and sharing with you what it is like to work with me one-on-one. What does that journey look like for me, and then on the back end behind the scenes, and then also what does that journey feel like and look like for you. So step one of this whole process is to apply. If you go to my website, planwithlaken.com/coaching, you will see all of the options related to one-on-one coaching. There are payment options. There is the pay in full price where you get a slight discount, basically a discount of what the fees are that I pay when we have to do multiple payments, and then a paid in full plus an accountability add-on. So you pick which one you want, you click on it, and it brings you to an application where you will answer a couple of questions about yourself, your goals, what's working, what's not working, and gives me a better feel of what it is going to be like when we work together and if it's going to be a good fit. Then I will reach out to you. Typically, I reach out on Instagram because I love a voice message and I just feel like that personal connection. You're not expected at all to send a voice message back, but I love kicking it off with a voice message as we start to chat to see if we would be a good fit together. And so I always reach out on Instagram, but if you don't respond or if Instagram is not really where you want to chat, I will then also follow up via email, which is what ended up happening with the person that's kind of my muse for me finally kicking off this video. It's been on my list for a while. So we will chat and I will ask you a little bit more about what is the specific goal that you want to work on. So everybody I work with one-on-one picks a focus goal. And while we work together, I'm going to give you everything I know, every tip, every trick about following through and achieving all of your goals. But I have everyone pick kind of their example goal that we are going to work on during our time together. So I ask you a little bit more about that to explain it to me and explain why that goal is important to you. And we kind of chat about that a bit. And then if we both feel like it's a good fit, I will let you know what my next availability is for kicking off the process, and I will send you an invoice. I also want to mention there is no right or wrong goal that I have had somebody pick as their like example. I've had everyone ask that, like, is this a good goal? Really, the best goal is one that matters to you and one that you want to and have the capacity to work on right now. So I have worked with people on everything from different routines, AM routine, PM routine, post-work routine. We have done writing a book, lots of people starting businesses, health and wellness, weight loss, finding a new job, finding a hobby. That one was super fun. Like literally all across the board in terms of what goal it is that you want to focus on. That is not as important as it being a goal that's important to you, and then all of the skills and tools you're going to walk away with at the end of it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my hair up. I mean, it looks nice. Like I curled it yesterday and this is like day 2 curls, but it's hot in here and I can turn on the air conditioning, but I am going to dance in a little bit, and so it's gonna go up anyway. So I might as well go ahead and put it up and get it up in a ponytail. I've had people ask before about my brush because I talked about it when I bought it. It's from the brand Gimme. I ordered from them to try out their hair ties. I didn't like them. I didn't like the hair ties from them. I know there's a lot of like beauty YouTubers and influencers that rave about them. I didn't like the hair ties. And I bought the brush because I needed a new brush at the time that I was placing an order for the hair ties. The brush is fine. Like it works, it does a good job, but I think an inexpensive brush from the drugstore would have probably done just as good of a job. All right, once that invoice has been paid, either the payment plan or the paid in full, then I'm going to send you a bunch of stuff. And that is the step that we are at today for the person that I am bringing you along with for their one-on-one experience and my behind the scenes. So I am going to send them a couple of things. The first thing will be a welcome letter. So it's just kind of like a hello, I'm so excited to work with you, and here's why I'm excited to work on your particular goal. And then that welcome letter will also include the link to sign up for their first call. So I utilize the service Calendly, which allows me on the back end to always have my availability, and then they could go into Calendly and schedule out the calls. I keep it open for 30 days at a time. I've had that question before. So clients can book their calls up to 30 days out. So the person I'm sending it today, today's the 15th, and they're gonna start the week of the 26th. So they'll be able to book 3 calls right now if they really wanted to. Some people though, and this is totally up to you, will book 1 call at a time. If you are like, my schedule changes every week. I worked with someone who worked overnights once. Actually, that was another goal. We did decluttering for her, but she wanted to do it once a week because her schedule changed every week. All I ask is that you finalize the following week's call by the Friday before, just so that I'm able to plan my week effectively. But really, I am pretty flexible when it comes to scheduling the calls. I also always want to hammer home that while my Calendly availability is my like preferred call schedule, which right now is a smidge limited because of dance, but by the time this video goes up, the show will be tomorrow. If you're watching it the day it goes live, wow. So by the time you're seeing this video, dance is over, rehearsals are over, so my calendar becomes a lot more open and available, especially in the evenings, which I know a lot of people need that evening time slot when they work a 9-to-5 job. So I always want to make sure that you know that if you go to my Calendly and you are like, none of that availability works for me, I'll work with you. We will find a time that works for both of us for us to have that call. I will also send you the information about signing up for texting. So one of the perks that comes with one-on-one coaching is texting with me, and also getting the daily text that the Patreon community gets. So you can sign up for that as soon as the invoice is paid, even if you're not starting with coaching until for weeks from now, which is something else I should probably mention. So typically I offer my next availability, and for some people, they want to start as soon as they possibly can, and that's the plan. I have had people be like, I would like to start at this future date because of their personal life commitments, and we can always do that as well. You can reserve your spot right now. Like if you reached out and said, I want to start November 1st, although again, by the time this video goes up, that's not that far out. Or let's say you wanted to start January 1st, right? Maybe you actually don't want to start until the new year. I would actually recommend, and I'm going to say this in a few places, you'll probably hear me say this again over the next few months. If you are interested in like new year focus, like there's a goal you really want to start for the new year, I would say we should start in December. It would be much more beneficial for us to have at least the first 2 calls before we break for the holidays, because those are kind of background calls. It's defining your goal and breaking your goal down, and I think it would be more beneficial to do those in December and then pick up with week 3 in January. That's just my opinion. If you want to wait till January 1st, we can wait till January 1st. But either way, I am open to also starting at a future date if that's what works for your life. All that to say, I feel like I went on a bunch of tangents there. You can sign up for texting as soon as you pay your invoice, and you will have access to me via texting right away. And then the last thing that I will send you, which I'm excited to send to her today, is a pre-coaching questionnaire. So it's just in a Google form, a Google Docs. You can answer all of the questions in your Google Doc. And it is a bunch of very specifics to you and your life and your goals and your personality. And it just gives me a lot of background information that's going to help me work with you better once we start working together. So I always want to give people at least a week to fill that out. If not, ideally, I'd like to have it be longer. So I will never have somebody sign up like today on a Thursday and then start coaching next week. Like that's way too fast. You need time to think about those answers and fill it out, and then I need time to read them and reflect on them before we actually start working together. Oh, I just got that sent off. I am so excited about this person's goal. I know I've said this before, but I really do think one of my favorite things about doing one-on-one coaching is how unique everybody's goals are. Like, yes, her goal is similar to someone else that I've worked with before, but it's not exactly the same, because no 2 goals, at least from what I found, are exactly the same, and I love that. The last thing I forgot to mention that I also always send with all of the welcome stuff is links to the Accelerate Your Goals replays. So Accelerate Your Goals is a course that I taught last year in 2021 3 times. Keep an eye out. I'm still trying to iron out the details, okay, for bringing it back. But either way, when you sign up for one-on-one coaching, you get access to the last session of it, the last replays. And so I will send that as well. So if you do want something to get started on right away, or if we're not starting for a couple of weeks because of my availability, you have those replays that you can get started with. So I just sent her all of the stuff I mentioned before, as well as the Accelerate Your Goals, of course. Hi, it's about a week later since I last checked in with this process vlog video. By the way, I think I'm going to also include a goal planner review in this video, because I have so many to get through and only so many blog spots. So I'm pretty sure, even though the focus of this vlog is the one-on-one process and experience behind the scenes, I am going to include a goal planner review. I probably will do that next week. I just have way too much I'm trying to get to today. and this weekend. Anyways, it is Thursday, September 22nd. And so what I'm gonna do now is go through the responses from the pre-coaching questionnaire. So first off, this person that I'm using as my like example for this video is not only the best. She scheduled her call almost immediately after I sent her the link, and she picked the first day of the week. I love when people pick Mondays because I don't know, Mondays are exciting for me. First day of the week, like fresh start, I love it. So her call is this Monday, the 26th. So if she had picked to have her call later in the week next week, I probably would have pushed this review to closer to the call, and also just because I am already feeling behind. I'm sure you can relate. By like Thursday, Friday, I'm always feeling behind, so adding it to my plate today, like I would rather have it next week. But her call, it's literally the first time slot, noon on Monday. So I need to get to that today. She was also the best because as soon as she was done with the questionnaire, she sent me a text that said, hey, I just want to let you know I finished the questionnaire. That doesn't always happen. I very much appreciate that. So it's not just me checking to see if they've done it yet and then adding it to my schedule. I was able to schedule it today knowing that she'd already submitted the answer. So that is what I'm gonna check off today. That process will take me anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. It kind of depends on how, robust their responses are to the questionnaire. But most of it is me getting to know them a little bit better and making some notes on what I'm thinking for their initial action step. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna change my mind once we talk on Monday, right? Because Monday's call is going to be all about defining her goal. And even though I know what it is from our chat, there are questions about it in the questionnaire, and I wanna be prepared, but sometimes things change, right? Things change. I start to ask her some questions, something else comes up, and it can impact what I have, the preparation that I have done. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that, get through her questionnaire, get to know her a little bit better. Her like personality type, I always ask about some, personality quizzes if you know any of your personality types, so I know how best to work with her starting on Monday. Hello, it is Monday, September 26th, and my voice is a little bit scratchy just because I did a lot of screaming and yelling and karaoke over the weekend, and now I'm paying for it with my voice. I feel fine, I just sound terrible. But I'm checking in with the next step in our one-on-one journey process. So the one-on-one calls are always scheduled for 30 minutes on my calendar, on the client's calendar. I do warn them after the first one to maybe add a 15-minute buffer to the end, because sometimes depending on how chatty we get, we can go a little bit longer. But I always have a 15-minute buffer before and a 15-minute buffer after. So the 15-minute buffer before is for me to prep, obviously. Now, because this is her first call, I did all that prep last week because it takes me more than 15 minutes to prep for the first one. But normally 15 minutes is enough time for me to do what I need to do right before the call starts. Because I also will do something at the end of the call, which we'll talk about after the call is over. So I usually will take these 15 minutes to just obviously make sure my internet's all hooked up, my computer's good, everything's plugged in. Then I will get all of my notes pulled up for the actual like teaching part. So every call, there's two pieces to it. There is a teaching component on a topic that is meant to help you know how to apply this to future goals, right? I am here to support you through one specific goal, but I also want you to be able to walk away and apply this process to any other goal that you could possibly have in the future. So half of it is a teaching component, and there is a handout, and so I'll pull up my notes and make sure I have my notes all ready to go for that piece of it. And because it's her first call, I'm also gonna have my notes ready to go for like all the housekeeping stuff that I go through for call one. Then I will go through any specific notes, like specific things for that individual client and their particular goal. So that is what I'm gonna do for the next, now that I've been talking to you, it's less than 15 minutes, which is fine. And then we will kick off this call. Hello. Y'all, the first call is always my favorite. I don't know, I take that back, because once we start actually digging in and seeing results is always really exciting, but man, I feel like I'm talking really fast. There is nothing like that initial call where we talk about the vision. What are you looking to get out of this goal? What is important to you? Why is it important to you? And then at the end, I actually wrote down what she wrote. I always ask at the end, like, okay, how does that feel? How are you feeling? And she goes, I feel so much better already. And after the first call, that happens a lot, where they're like, wow, I feel so much better getting all of that out of my head. And so just really excited. Her goal that we're working on is she's creating a blog with an ultimate goal potentially to start her own business. But for now, we are just getting the blog up and running. And we've defined the goal as develop a roadmap for her blog. that is the definition that we have determined based on what is important to her and what we are going to prioritize over the next 8 weeks together. And I am just so excited. She's got her action steps. So it's almost 1 o'clock. The call started at 12:15. It's almost 1 o'clock. I pretty much always go over this first call because we have to do housekeeping and admin stuff. And it's also kind of like a getting to know you. So I almost always go over. But the good news is I don't have another call right after this. So I've got a little bit of time to go through kind of my post-call. And off routine is not the right word because it's not routine. It's like just what I do after the calls. So I'm going to go through, I just save my notes. Obviously I'm not going to show you them, but it's super simple. I keep my system very simple. It's literally a Word doc, and I keep all my notes in the Word doc and just separate it. I page break by week, and then any action items that I have, like things that she needs from me, I put them in red so I don't miss them. And then I have her actions that to follow up with next week at the very bottom, and I like make it nice and big so I can't miss it. And so now I'm just gonna go through those and make sure there's nothing else that I needed to add that I didn't catch while she was talking. And then I'm gonna upload her recording and her handouts for next week, and then she will be good to go. I will say, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I used to do the recordings and the handouts for the next week all in one. I used to batch that because I used to just think it was more beneficial for me to, on a weekly basis, batch all of the one-on-one calls together. And from my productivity standpoint, that might be true, but there were times that I had clients that wanted that recording earlier than I was getting it to, especially with a call on a Monday. I was doing that batching habit on Fridays. Now I'm usually doing it on Thursdays. But what if she wants to watch the replay tomorrow? I'm gonna upload it. I have started uploading them as soon as the call is over. I mean, I've gotta let Zoom finish. It's at 42% now, converting it. But once Zoom is done converting it, I'm gonna upload it right away. So I'm also then gonna take a break and go fill up my water and get on with my day. All right, it's still Monday. I did a bunch of work, changed clothes. I was still wearing the dress that I wore to Rosh Hashanah services this morning. So changed clothes. And now I'm headed to my P.O. box to pick up another goal planner, which reminded me that I am still planning to incorporate a goal planner review in this vlog. So I'm gonna go to UPS and pick that up. We'll see which one it is. I have so many, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to start doubling up soon because if we're gonna get through them by the end of the year. I just said that, and then I remembered that Vlogmas is coming. And that means I'll vlog every day. But I want you to have plenty of time to be able to make a decision and then get your planner and set it up by the new year. I can't actually see which company it is because they put the sticker on it, but I just need to brag. There's a new person at my UPS store, and they are the freaking best. They just remember, they know my name, they click, I just don't even have to say anything, and it's the best. All right, this is the planner that I actually just picked up, and I am so excited to look at it and myself that I'm this is the one we're gonna do today because I am just really excited to dig into this. I was recommended to review this by a member of my Patreon community who's actually using it. And from the first moment I looked at it, I was very excited to actually see it in person because I feel like it has some unique things that I've never seen in a goal planner before or even in a planner before. So I'm excited to look at it with you and share my thoughts. Obviously, I haven't even opened it besides taking the plastic off the outside. It didn't come in any sort of special packaging. That's why I didn't actually unbox it. It did get a little bit maybe destroyed in transition. The coil got a little bit bent. It's this Wire-O coil. It is a white Wire-O, which I think is interesting. They have a couple different cover options. They're all kind of the same design, but with different colors. I don't even remember why I picked this one. Honestly, when I bought all these goal planners to review, most of them I knew I probably wasn't going to keep and was going to end up giving away to someone in my Patreon community. And so I tried to get the most the color I thought most people would like. So this is the one that I picked. The cover is a hard, thick cover. The most unique thing also about this planner, it's pretty thick. It's a 4-month planner, which I feel like I've never seen. I feel like every planner I've looked at is either quarterly, 6 months, or a year. So 4 months is really interesting. My guess is that they designed their planner and that's how many months they could fit on the size coil with the cover. But it could be a 3-month planner, I guess. It's just super interesting that it's 4 months. So the actual size of the planner is, without the coil, it's 7 inches by 10 inches. With the coil, it's 8 by 10. So it's a pretty big planner. And like I said, it's also a pretty thick planner. So cover is very thick, hard cover. It does feel like paper, but it's a very hard cover. Now, the concept of this planner is like a bullet journal. From what I read online, basically, is she used to create this planner in a bullet journal format for herself and got so tired of repeating it over and over again that she made it into a planner. So kind of, you'll see, like the background is always going to be this dot grid. Like it is a bullet journal style, but it's on coil. But she like it has designs and stuff already pre-printed. So just it's very interesting. I really, like I said, I had never really seen anything like this before. Also, wow, the paper. Y'all, oh my God, we will do a pen test if there's some extra notes pages. It is thick. This paper, that's why I can only do it 4 months. This paper is so thick. Okay, and it's like bright white. I absolutely love it. So starts with a 4-month vision. So I think you probably write the dates at the top. This is kind of her version of the prep work, right? So where I am, what do I want to accomplish, how far I want to go, how I will celebrate, where I will waste time, how can I be more consistent, what can I do well, my biggest goal. I like it. I don't know how much all this will really help you. It's all kind of vague and there's not a whole lot of space to like journal on these things, but it is only 4 months. So you don't necessarily need like all of the space in the world. So then we go into this 4-month habit tracking sheet. So you write the month at the top. It has a little like monthly layout for each month with a Sunday start. That font is so small. Like obviously you know what it says, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but like it is very, very small. And then you've got a little box so you could fill in the date and then it would have a little bit of space for you to like check it off. One of my biggest struggles I think with this page is where am I writing what the habit is? Unless you're writing the habit at the top instead of the name of the month, I guess. So you don't need to write the name of the month there. You could write what the habit is. I'm not sure. And then also you'd be flipping back and forth to this page all 4 months. I feel like I would rather have the habit tracking sheets within the other parts of the planner. Then at the bottom here, same concept. It looks like you've got a section for each month, right? So it says month 1, top 10 goals. I'm assuming you write the name of the month here. And then it has these little boxes to write like your goals. These boxes are so tiny, y'all. Like I'm not sure what I'm fitting in them. And then the other thing I think that is driving me bananas about this planner already, and we are on page 2, is that the boxes don't, or like the boxes, yeah, don't line up with the dot grid. Like it doesn't line up. That would drive me bananas. Like maybe it wouldn't, maybe that doesn't bother you at all, but that would bother me. I don't know. That really, I could not deal with that. And then it says blank out of 10 goals done. And then at the end of the 4 months, you get like blank out of 40. I don't know how big of goals you're writing in there, but that just, it feels like a lot on this page for you to fit in that little tiny space. Okay, then we go into like the actual planner pages. So you've got a page for the month, so a place to write the month, and then kind of a bigger version of a monthly layout. Font on the days still very small. Sunday start, rewriting the goals. Boxes are a little bit bigger, a little bit more reasonable, still doesn't line up with the dots. Then down here, it has important dates, must-dos this month, and then a space for ideas and thoughts. And then because it is like a bullet journal style, you've got a whole page of dot grid across the other side. So if you are using this as a monthly or as a goal-focused planner, you could use this section to break down, you know, these top 10 goals, because otherwise it's just very small. So I like that there's this extra space that you can do with, you know, what you wish. And that's, if you were using this, that's how I would encourage you to do that. Then you have a page or a layout for each week. So you've got week ahead, place to write the dates, rewriting your top 10 goals for the month. I do like that. I do like that you're rewriting your goals, because I think that one of the biggest reasons we don't achieve our goals is because we forget about them. So I really do like that. Then it says goals by weekend, how it's happening. I'm not quite sure what she's encouraging you to write in those sections, right? So I guess you take your goal for the month, what's the milestone you want to be at by the end, and then like this would be what the action is that you're taking. I like the inspiration that we're breaking down our goals here. I think that it's a little bit, again, small. Like I don't know where I'm writing this action step, and then but I do like this. So then it's got done, and then it's got almost. So basically, no matter what, at the end of the month, although I guess you could not get a check mark, but even if you aren't quite done, you still get a check mark, which I think is funny. Then it's got this like little layout in the middle for the week. You got a little tiny box, again, a Sunday start for each day of the week that you could write your schedule, progress, maybe your habits. You've got a space for your top priorities, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mantra this week, what I will do for me, and then it's got 5 little circles to check mark. This page, I will say, lines up much better with the dots. Like it's all very equal and evenly spaced with the dots. And then again, you have a whole extra dot grid page that you get to do with what you wish. That almost is a little too much. Like I have no idea what I would use this space for. I guess maybe breaking it down even more. Notes, I don't know. That's almost too much flexibility for me. Then we've got daily layouts. Okay, now it's getting a little bit detailed. So it's not, again, it's an undated, the whole planner is undated, but the months and the weeks are a Sunday start, but the daily ones do not say the day of the week. So you could start it on a different day if you really wanted to. So you've got a box at the top. I'm assuming you write the date up there. You write the 10 goals again. That is a lot. Like to write all 10 goals every single day. Now I have heard people on the internet say that rewriting your goals every single day, and I guess to some extent, I write some form of my goals every day when I do my daily affirmations, but it's not all my goals, and it is more of an affirmation style, but rewriting them every single day is very ambitious. Then it has your top 10 to-dos today that are lining up with your goals. And on one hand, I like the concept, right? I like that we're lining up our to-dos with our goals, but 10 to-dos a day is already a lot. And that's assuming you don't have anything else to do except work on your goals. And the expectation that you would work on every single one of your monthly goals every single day feels way too overly ambitious. So then I do like the same concept over here with the check marks. So you've got done and you got almost, and then you've got tomorrow. Because I do that a lot where I'm like, we're just going to go ahead and move this to tomorrow. So then you've got these other sections. So you've got to feel amazing, I will, with 5 more things to do or could do. Top 3 movers today, 1, 2, 3. And I guess you could repeat things if you wanted to. And then don't forget, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 9 feels kind of like a random number. Like, are these 9 more to-dos? Like, that just feels like a lot that you're going to get done in a day. And then grateful and excited for, I do like that section. And then a game plan where it's got an hourly section from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., but no half hours. Just looking at this daily layout, I feel overwhelmed. I feel like there's just way too much going on here. There's things I like about it, but then there are things that I feel like it's a lot. So then you've got that page, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we move into the week ahead. And this is really interesting. So you've got a full daily page for every single day, but then because there's only 7 and there's not like an extra notes page, your weekly is starting on a different page. So you've got the weekly page and then the same dot grid, but now it's on the back. And then same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're back to this 2-page weekly layout spread. I feel like almost just get rid of that dot grid page and save however many of those you would save. Okay, so you got enough of those to get you through the whole month. And then you have a month in review page. So again, space at the top to write the name of the month. Proudest moments, where I can improve, what worked this month, what didn't work, improvement ideas. I like all of that. I like that. This month on a scale of 1 to 10. I like that. Then you repeat your top 10 goals for the month. Was this goal achieved? Yes, almost, no. So I guess if you do achieve your goals, you get 2 check marks, right? Because you're going to, way back, if you remember way back at the beginning, this page, so if you achieve your month goal, well, I guess you're not checking it off here so much as like writing your total down here at the bottom. Here, you're actually checking off which of the 10 goals you achieved. Next month's focus, ideas, and notes. And then notes page, and you move into the new month. And we're starting again with that. Now it's the month, instead of it being 2 pages like this, it's like a back and front. Oh, goodness gracious. So you have enough of that for 4 months. And then you have your 4-month review. And you've got some questions here. 4 months ago I was, what did I accomplish? How far have I come? Thoughts on my score? Where did I waste time? How can I be more consistent? What did I do well? What's next? I like that. And then you've got another one of these habit tracking sheets. I'm not quite sure why we have another one of these at the back instead of at the front, or if that's like for next month. I'm not sure what the point of that is. Okay, and then you have literally one notes page, which, you know what, even though I probably am gonna give this away, I'm gonna use this page as a pen test to try it out for you, because I have got to figure out what this paper feels like. It feels so thick. It's just it's kind of crazy. Okay, so my favorite pen is the Paper Mate Flare which is the pen I will always use, and I'm sure it's gonna be fine on this paper, if it works on the paper. And then if that is too thick, then I use the Sharpie pen. God, this is a new one. It always surprises me how thin it is. And then my favorite kind of clicky pen like this is the S Gel. That is not really working. Okay, well, not this one. But to be honest, I don't really find myself using any of these other pens anymore, except for the Flare. Okay, everything dried quickly. There was no issues with that. And yeah, guys, this paper is ridiculous. That's the biggest pro of this whole planner reel, is how amazing the paper is. So, and it's got a little quote on the back. So, pros to this planner. The paper is amazing. If you like having lots of like those notes pages or like dot grid pages and kind of bullet journal style, I see the benefits. It definitely is really focused on working on your goals. Your goals are front and center every single day. I think it's a lot. I think expecting yourself, unless you made these 10 goals really small, it's a lot and you might feel behind. I could see, I even want to say like I could see myself using this for business and doing like 10 business goals, but even that feels like a lot. So those are my thoughts. I think it's a really interesting option, and maybe you see it and you're like, no, I need that much focus on my goals and it would work for you. To me, it feels like almost a little bit too much, but that's it. That's all I got. All right, instead of making this video another 7 weeks long to bring you along for the rest of this client's goal, one-on-one goal journey, I am just gonna wrap up with the way that the process continues. So what we did this week, where I prepare, we have our call, part teaching, part working on her goals, and then follow-up action steps, and I upload the recording. We're gonna repeat that every week for 8 weeks. If we have to miss a week, either because I'm out of town, there's a holiday, or my client is super busy that week or has a vacation or something going on, we just skip a week and pick back up. So sometimes it does take anywhere from 9 to 10 weeks to get through all 8 of our calls, but we will do them until we finish all 8 of them. And then there are a couple of add-on options they can add on at the end to continue to be held accountable for that goal. Either way, they will still have texting access through the end of the month, whenever their month ends. If their last call is like the 25th, I will extend it for a whole month, just so that they still have that access to me, so I can keep holding them accountable and continuing to make progress. Because let's be honest, most goals aren't going to be done in 8 weeks. There has only been one person in the history of my one-on-one clients who was able to really consider her goal done at the end of those 8 weeks. Everybody else, the 8 weeks has been an incredible foundation where we break down the goal, we make a plan, they start working on it, they get all the kinks out, they get that momentum going, and then they're able to continue it on their own. So to have me in their back pocket for a little bit longer to help them with that transition is incredibly important. So that is kind of how it ends, it wraps up. I send them a survey, ask for their feedback, and then one-on-one clients are also always invited back if they want to work together on another goal at a pretty steep discount, because we don't have to go through all the teaching again. We just go through the process of the 8 weeks on a new goal, which I absolutely love that when a client is like, okay, that was great, now let's pivot and I have another goal. I did that with one client. We did her health for 8 weeks and then we pivoted and focused on her business, and it's just, it is so nice to work with somebody that I already know and understand how they operate, and what kind of support that they need. That's always really fun. So that is my whole one-on-one process, basically from application through call, and then I just kind of talk through the end instead of bringing you along, so this video doesn't take 2 months to film. If you have any questions about the process, if it would be a good fit for you, what your concerns are, I know a lot of the concerns are, Laken, I can't finish my goal in 8 weeks. And no, you probably can't, but I don't want you to pay for my support to get you through the entire goal. I would rather power through, get the breakdown, the momentum, and get you started, and then you're able to continue the rest of it. The other big concern I know that always comes up is cost, and I understand that it is an investment in you and your goals and your priorities, and it can be hard to justify supporting yourself in that way. I completely understand. That is why I do offer a payment plan. If you are like, I need it broken down even further, I can work with you. Send me a message, let's talk about it, because I have seen it change so many lives, and I know that it can be beneficial, especially as we're about to round the corner to a new year, which is bananas. But I have said this before in a few other videos, and I want to make sure that I say it in this one for sure. If you are interested, if you're like, well, I want it for January, like I want to wait until I have also my January momentum, let's start talking now, and you can reserve a spot now. And I truly believe that the first 2 calls are more beneficial in December, because the first 2 calls, obviously I talked today, the first one is completely defining the goal and getting really clear on the outcome that you want. And the second one is breaking it down. Doing those 2 things in December, I think is incredibly, incredibly beneficial. That way you really can hit the ground running in January and do the rest of the week starting in January. So if you're interested, the application link is down below, or send me a DM on Instagram. One more thing I want to remind you of is if you joined us for the live workshop back in July, you actually get 2 additional accountability add-on calls to your one-on-one coaching program, completely complimentary, just to say thank you for participating in that workshop. So don't forget that if you do reach out, let me know if you were at that workshop. Obviously I have all of the emails of the attendees, but make sure that you remind me if you were one of those attendees. Okay. That is gonna be it, and I'm gonna go get to cooking dinner. If you liked this video and coming along with me, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. .com/is a pre-coach. First start.